Dear brothers and sisters in the risen Lord, Christmas season, Wednesday, 27/12/2023, Wednesday. Today, we are celebrating the feast of St. John the Evangelist. And those who bear the name of John, let us read them and get from the Lord the choicest blessing upon them. In the golden legend, an incident is narrated about St. John. The day after St. John returned from his exile from island Patmos to Ephesus, a philosopher named Greato called the people together in the public square to show them how they should despise the world. He had ordered two young men, brothers and very rich, to sell their entire patrimony to buy the most priceless gems with heaped proceeds and smashed them to bits while everybody watched. The Apostle John, however, happened to be passing, and he called the philosopher and denounced this sort of contempt of the world, citing three reasons. For one thing, he is win the praise of men, but he is condemned by divine judgment. For another, such contempt cures no vices and therefore is worthless, as any medicine that never cures a disease is said to be worthless. Thirdly, contempt of riches is meritorious only when they are given away to the poor, as the Lord said to the rich young man, if you wish to be perfect, go and sell all you have and give to the poor. Hearing this, Greato replied, if your master is truly God, and if it is this will that these gems should be benefit the poor, then you put them together again, thus winning glory for him, as I have won the applause of men. St. John gathered the fragment of gems in his hand and prayed, and the stones were restored to their former shape. And this philosopher and the two young men believed that they sold the gem and gave the money to the poor. Today we celebrate the feast of St. John the Apostle and Evangelist. Let's note St. John's privileges. God had bestowed 5 blessings on St. John. First, the special love Christ had for him. Jesus loved him more than any other apostle, including St. Peter, and he gave him greater signs of love and familiar friendship. Secondly, Christ gave him the unique privilege of understanding the secret revelations of God. Christ gave him the privilege to understand the profound secrets, such as the divinity of the world and the end of the world. Thirdly, Christ had entrusted to him his own mother. Alone among the apostles, when he stood beneath the cross, Jesus said to him, behold your mother. And from that hour, this disciple took Mary into his own home. Fourthly, he was the first one to believe in the resurrection of the Jesus. He was the first one to believe in the resurrection of Jesus. When he reached the empty tomb, he waited for Peter to catch up with him. Along with Peter, he went into the tomb and he looked at the linen wrappings and other cloth which covered the head of Jesus, rolled up in a corner, and believed John chapter 20 verse 8. And lastly, he had the greatest longevity. He survived unto the age of 94. St. John's teaching. St. John the Evangelist is the author of the Gospel of St. John, the 3 epistles, and took the revelation. He wrote his Gospel after meditating for decades over the events which he offered in his life. According to Jerome, St. John stayed on in Ephesus into his extreme old age. He grew so feeble that he had to supported by his disciples on his way to the church and was hardly able to speak. At every pass, however, he repeated the same words, "My sons, love one another." One day the brethren, wondering at this, asked him, "Master, why are you always saying the same thing?" The saint replied, "Because it is the commandment of the Lord, and if this alone is obeyed, is enough." Let us obey for the new commandment of the Lord. May God bless you. Amen.